you can't just like stuff your insides with just McDonald's and put on a vitamin C serum and expect your skin to be like clear.
That's true.
Like it just doesn't work that way. And you can't supplement your way out of like a disease either.
That's true.
It really has to start with like a good base routine.
Yeah.
It's like someone who eats McDonald's every single day and then is like, why do I have cancer? Or like goes to the doctor and like just putting a pill in me, just fix. There's no magic out there. It really has to be like every step of the way. So I'm not telling you my powders or like my one single product is going to change your life either. But it is a step forward or balancing out some of the other things that you do.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of ABG. As you can see, we are in a different studio. We're actually at the Spotify headquarters in New York. And today I have my first New York-based guest. I have Ava Lee. Welcome, Ava.
Hi, everyone.
So great to see you. I've only followed you on Instagram and your TikTok with your videos. I'm so excited to have you on the podcast.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So focusing on skincare, beauty, style, and wellness, Ava shares everything from her and her mother's personal regimens, tests trending products, and helps make good skincare more achievable, and all in pursuit of her glow from within approach to life and achieving #JELLOSKIN. I actually stumbled upon your videos on Instagram because you were giving a tutorial on your skincare, and I was like, wow, this girl has like the best skin I've ever seen on social media. And you had a video when you went to Paris and you're like telling people, oh, these are some products to get. And I thought that was super helpful because I think sometimes when you go to these places, you're like, I want to buy things, but I don't know what to buy. So
especially for foreign countries.
Yeah.
You know, it was so funny because when I, after I made that video, I think a few months later, I went back to Paris and I was at the pharmacy shopping again. And I saw a follower carrying my face.
Your video?
Yeah. She was like, wait,
is that you?
What? Is that you? She was like carrying like my screenshots of my face.
That's
from
crazy.
That video. Yeah.
Were you kind of like, whoa, like I can't believe I'm I'm able to help people internationally when they travel.
Exactly. And it was like really great to see that.
Yeah. Well, I would definitely want to start from the beginning because like I think another thing I discovered from your videos is that I was like, oh, like she's Korean, but you speak Mandarin. And I was like, your Mandarin is like flawless. And I was like, whoa. And so doing some digging, you grew up in Asia. So how did growing up in Asia shape your understanding of beauty? And how old were you when you got interested in like skincare and beauty?
So I was born in Korea. Both my parents are fully Korean, but I moved to China when I was 2 years old.
Okay.
So I basically lived in China for almost my entire life, I guess. And I graduated high school from China. And then I came to the US for the first time for college. So everything about me has been shaped in China and Korea. So that's why I think like everything that I do, the thoughts I have, you know, like my shaping has a blend of both China and Korea in it.
Yeah.
So even though like, you know, I feel more Korean when it comes to food, like I love Chinese food, sometimes more than Korean food, and like the traditional Chinese medicine, the herbs, like I'm very familiar with those concepts as well. So I call myself a third culture kid because I don't really have a home. Korea is a home, but China is actually home because my parents still live there.
They still live in Shanghai?
They still live in Shanghai.
Wow.
Yeah, so that is still technically my home.
Yeah.
Well, now I've been in New York for 11 years, so New York is my third home too. But yeah, every winter break, we would go to Korea growing up. And that was when I guess my love for skincare kind of started by seeing all these beauty shops on every single block. There's like more beauty shops than 7-Elevens in Korea, even back then. So I would always like ask my mom for like one nail polish or like one little thing. And then of course I would see my mom just doing self-care at home, not with like necessarily expensive products, but even from simple routines like rice water or just cooking healthy food. So I think that concept was always ingrained in me since I was young. And like wearing sunscreen, for example, like that was considered even more important than brushing my teeth when I was growing up.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But of course I was a rebel and I never wear sunscreen, like ever. And I would run out the house because I was like, I don't want to wear that.
Yeah. But now you like swear by it, right?
Yeah. But I was actually very late into wearing sunscreen.
Oh, I feel like that kind of like the sunscreen, everyone's like SPF thing. It's like what, 5 years ago, 10 years ago?
Yeah. Yeah, that was me.
Was it shocking for you? Because I feel like in Asia, like they definitely like emphasize skincare and beauty, but coming to New York, you're like, oh, the American way is so different.
It's so different. I was like, I thought I knew nothing about skincare, but when I came here, I was like, I know
way
10
more
times more than anyone. Because like in college, like I didn't really have that much skincare at all. This was before I was like super interested in it. But I just had my base products that my mom like made me bring to the US.
Yeah.
And my friends were like, what are you doing? Like running a shop here or something?
Yeah.
Because I had like my basic steps, but for them, they didn't even know really what moisturizer was.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I think we had like Olay lotion from our mom, and that was it.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was like the clear and clear
Yes.
facial cleanser, the Neutrogena cleansers. Like that was literally all they had, or bar soap.
Yep. Oh, yeah. I am definitely guilty of the Neutrogena, like the orange looking. Yes,
That's
everyone had that.
Everyone had that.
But now it's just so different.
When it comes to being mindful of our money, rent is one of those expenses that take up a big chunk of our monthly expenses. It kind of sucks just burning through all that hard-earned cash, right? Well, renters, check out Built Rewards. They have figured out a way to make rent more rewarding. Say goodbye to the money bonfire and hello to a renter's revolution with Built. Built is breaking ground as a neighborhood rewards program that hooks you up with points on your rent. Every month, pay your rent and watch the Built points roll in. Use points to jet off on a dream vacation. Put your points toward a flight or hotel stay with 500 plus airlines and 700,000 plus hotels and properties. You can also use your points to book fitness studio classes or redeem them toward a future rent payment. They are designed to meet your lifestyle. Pay rent hassle-free through the Built Rewards app. Your rent game just got a major upgrade. Built points have been consistently ranked the highest value point currency by the Points Guy and Bankrate. Earn points by paying rent right now when you go to joinbuilt.com/ABG. That's JOINBILT.com/ABG. Make sure to use our URL so that they know we sent you. Join built.com/ABG to start earning points with your rent payments today.
So you actually went to New York for college?
No, I went to South Bend, Indiana, Notre Dame.
Okay, wow.
So that was like the biggest change. I went from never having even visited the US to my first city in the US was Indiana.
Dang.
Like there was nothing. And from growing up in such a metropolitan city, like all I knew was very big city life. And then as soon as we like were driving from Chicago to Indiana, I started seeing like farmland and horses. I was like, what am I getting myself into? Yeah, that was quite a bit of a change, but I'm so grateful for the experience.
Yeah.
And that's exactly why I went to Notre Dame, because I was like, I have been in big cities. I've been surrounded by Asians my entire life. Like I kind of want to go for a completely different change where I don't know a single person.
Yeah.
And I think I chose like the real drastic option where I was like basically the only Asian. So it was tough, but honestly, it made me really, really mature and grow up during those 4 years. But after 4 years, I was like, enough is enough. I need some pollution.
And you chose New York.
Honking. And I was like, I need to get back into New York City.
Dang. So did you come to New York for a job?
Yeah, I interned my junior and between junior and senior year in New York City.
Okay.
And I was like, I feel home. So right after that, I was like, I'm coming back, baby.
Yeah. So what was your career before, you were on TikTok and Instagram? Like,
yeah, my career started off in investment banking. I started investment banking in New York at JP Morgan.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's super challenging.
Yeah, it was challenging, but I still remember the first time I like got that internship.
Yeah.
I was like, this is the best thing because I worked so hard for it. I was like, I just want to get the hardest job there is. And it just happened to be investment banking. And I did that for 2.5 years. Then I went on to go to a hedge fund in the city. And then I went to another private equity firm.
Oh, wow.
And that was my last job. And I honestly didn't really hate my job. I thought I was going to be in finance until the day I retired in my 60s or something.
Yeah.
So leaving finance was never, ever an option for me. If anything, I would have gone to MBA and then come back to doing the same thing. So this was not ever an option. It was a complete plot twist in my career.
Yeah, I think it's crazy because when I talk to a lot of people who work in finance, they're like, a lot of people want to leave because it's so, like, the hours are draining. It's really tough. Like, there's no work-life balance. Like, obviously, this is all hearsay. But for you actually really liked it.
There was absolutely zero work-life balance. I was working minimum 100 hours a week for, 6 years? Like, there was no break. And I was work hard, play hard. I still partied, like, crazy. I did not sleep at all in my 20s, but I learned a lot. I still would do it all over again if I had to, because the skill set that I have from all those years is so valuable to me right now.
For sure.
Whether I'm a content creator or I'm doing something else, like it's such valuable skill set.
Oh, 100%.
It did ruin my body a little bit, my health and everything, but if I also didn't go through that, I would not be here
Yeah.
today.
No, I 100% agree. Like, so one of our other co-hosts and founders, Helen, she also worked in finance for 10 years. And I think now when we transition to like ABG doing it full time, we're like, damn, thank God for our corporate background, because I feel like without that like foundation, it'd be really hard to kind of set and run your own business or like do your own thing on the side.
No, it really is, and to each their own. But like lately, I see a lot of creators or young kids right out of college or even before college. They were like, they want to drop out of college or they don't want a real job because all they want to do is become an influencer, right? And that is totally fine. But I do still feel like you kind of need a real job, even for like a year or something, just to get a little bit of a foundation.
Yes.
Right? And that kind of like the hustle of working for someone else in a way too. And like the teamwork. Because like when you're working as an influencer by yourself, yes, you have a team, but you're still the boss at like 20 years old. Like it's a weird dynamic. And I think the burnout comes really fast too. Like for me, my burnout was so prolonged and long that I still don't have a burnout from doing this. And I frankly think I work more and harder right now, but it doesn't really feel like that just because I have that background as well.
For sure.
And that hustle.
Support for today's episode comes from OneSkin. I was out in the sun a lot this summer, and it's no secret that UV rays can take a toll on our skin. If you want to hit the undo button on UV-induced aging, say hello to OneSkin, your secret weapon against the summer's toll on your skin. Thank God for OneSkin. I've been using their face topical supplement and their eye topical supplement, and this duo has been saving my skin from summer UV rays. I'm a big fan of this step because it's only 2 steps, I love a quick routine, and also very effective. OneSkin's products work tirelessly to repair, rejuvenate, and erase the signs of summer damage, ensuring you step into this new season with the healthiest skin in your life. Their products have this thing called the OSON peptide, which is scientifically proven to reduce senescent cells, a major source of skin aging. Their scientists have shown that it can actually reverse the biological age of skin by several years. More youthful skin isn't just a vanity play, it's also good for your overall health. OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company. It's time to get started with your new face, eye, and body routine at a discounted rate today. Get a free travel bag, a $39 value, with your first OneSkin order over $79 with code ABG at oneskin.co. That's a free travel bag at oneskin.co with code ABG. After you purchase, they'll ask you where you heard about them. Please support our show and tell them that we sent you. We only have one body, one skin, and only you can choose to make it better. Age healthy with OneSkin.
So did you start like creating videos? Like, can you walk me through your transition to a content creator then? Like, were you making videos as you're working in finance? How did you even find the time to do this?
So I started making content. It wasn't even really videos. This was back when Instagram was more like the shelfies, like the pretty aesthetic posts. Days was 2017, 2018. And mind you, I'm not a technology person. I'm not an Instagram person. I never really took photos. Like I'm the opposite of what you would think of as an influencer back in the day. But I always loved skincare. And this was when I was simultaneously going through a health journey when I was in private equity. Like I had so many gut issues. So I was seeing doctors and I actually happened to be working at a healthcare private equity fund. So I was learning a lot. And my bosses were making me read health books. So that was when I was actually changing a lot of things in my diet, my journey. And while I was implementing these new changes and implementing like healthier Asian herbs and remedies, I saw my skin clear up at the same time while I was using skincare products. So it was kind of like this like all-in-one journey that I was like, I kind of need to like share this somehow. And I was seeing all these like Instagram shelfies online and I thought to myself, I have more products than them. But no one's explaining how to use these products or anything. So I was like, I can't really take pictures, but let me just write or do Instagram stories of videos of how to use a sheet mask. What is a toner? This is before anyone really knew this 10-step skincare routine. This was like right when it was like kind of coming up mildly.
I see,
So I started just posting on Instagram stories, never revealed my face on the gram itself because I was terrified any of my coworkers would find me. So the Instagram stories were like a 24-hour thing and I would film like my routine every day before work or after work. And somehow that got traction and people were like tagging me in their stories saying, hey, watch Glow with Ava's story. She does a really good tutorial on like what to do. So it was kind of like a daily thing that I like doing. And I love doing it. So I was waking up at like 4 or 5 a.m. every morning, just like filming. I also always went to like the gym usually like 4 times a week before work. So I'd film, go to the gym, then go to work by 9 a.m.
Yeah.
and work until God knows when, come back, maybe just shoot something, and then schedule my post. You could schedule your post back then. So I would schedule at 11:30 or noon, right when my lunch break was.
Yeah.
And then I would kind of check the comments and stuff.
Dang.
Yeah.
I think hearing your backstory, it kind of makes sense because I feel like, I don't want to say like in finance you're like a hustler, but you're on this like grind, right?
Yeah.
So and you're already built mentally to like
exactly
to just do it, like to keep going.
Yeah.
So it's not like, oh, I need to like find an hour, but you're just like you're just making time.
Yeah.
It
wasn't like a grind. It wasn't like extra work.
Yeah.
Me. It didn't feel like extra work because I was like, I want to help these people. I want to educate.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was zero monetary incentive at all because I was never going to leave my job.
Yes. Because you already had the financial security from your corporate job.
Yeah.
So now, we were talking before the recording, you're now a full-time creator.
Yes.
So when did you make the decision to be like, okay, I'm finally going to say I'm going to step away from my finance job and do this full-time?
You know, I was actually not fully planning to become full-time because I was like, how do you even become a full-time creator from someone who only knows how to do Excel models, right? But I really, really had this gut feeling that I have something bigger to do for people than Excel models. Like it was just like a gut feeling that I knew I had to get a job in beauty or something. So my dream job was like, I want to work for Amore Pacific or Estee Lauder and become like the global marketing director. So then I decided, you know what? I'm going to get an MBA. I was going to get an MBA maybe one day for finance.
Yeah.
But then I was like, you know what? I can't really pivot from finance to beauty that easily. So might as well just get an MBA. So that's when I started studying for the GMAT. And I even had to tell my boss to get my recommendation letter at that point. So he knew I was going to leave at one point. He wrote me a great recommendation letter. Yeah. And then I was like, I'm going to go to business school. And I just wanted to be in Colombia because I was dating my now husband then. So kind of wanted to be in New York and I was applying. And while I was applying, I somehow got a job at Amore Pacific.
Oh, really?
Yeah. As like an intern, as like a rotating role. And I was like, okay, well, why would I spend $300K to go to business school when I got my way in as like a lowly intern, but I can work my way up, right? So I didn't get in Colombia eventually either. and I actually rejected the job too. Oh. Because there were some restrictions.
I see.
Where I couldn't post other content.
Oh, I see. That makes sense.
So I was like, you know what? Let me just take a break. And then at that point,
you're like,
well, I was like, I'm just going to leave because everyone knew that I was going to go to business school.
Yeah.
So I left finance out of nowhere, kind of out of the blue. It was like, I'm gone the next week. And I started doing this full time. My parents were like, what the fuck are you doing? Yeah. I told them, give me 6 months. And my mom still remembers this conversation. Like she actually told me about this a few months ago. She was like, I remember the day she was like, give me 6 months. And then if I don't see this going anywhere, I'll go back to finance. And it was easy to go back to any finance job that I had with my background. But 6 months became a year. Oh, wow. A year became forever.
Wait, what year was this when you made that jump?
It was before COVID, so 2019.
Oh, it's been like 5 years already.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
2020, 2024. Like 3-4 years?
Yeah.
That's still, I think it makes
5 years.
That's crazy because I feel like you're already like taking, like you literally were like applying for business school and then it just, the timing.
Life just happens. Timing just kind of worked out.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is like meant to be.
Yeah.
This is my job meant to be. And and then COVID happened.
And then at that point, like everyone's just, you're at home making content.
Yeah. And COVID was so busy for me because my husband was like bored out of his mind. And I was like, I'm so busy. I was waking up at like 7 a.m. every morning and just filming content. And it was so fun for me.
Yeah. And he was like, ugh.
Yeah.
With Robinhood Gold, you don't need a silver spoon to eat up the financial favors of the 1%. Robinhood Gold allows others to get the rates and perks usually reserved for the high society. Now, the resourceful individual with Robinhood Gold can earn the very liberal rate of 4.5% APY on uninvested cash, receive unlimited 1% deposit bonuses, and be rewarded with a handsome 3% retirement boost on an IRA account. Robinhood Gold provides the privileges of a high net worth for any net worth. These generous benefits are now available for only $5 a month. The new gold standard is here with Robinhood Gold. Sign up at Robinhood.com/gold. Terms apply for product-specific disclosures. Visit Robinhood.com/gold. Investing involves risk. Rate may change. Gold membership is offered by Robinhood Gold, LLC.
But I think for me, like what stood out for your story is that the fact that you're willing, like you like had this big finance job, but the fact that you're willing to take a step back and take an internship at a skincare brand that you really like, I think it says a lot about how much you care about skincare and how passionate you are about.
And I didn't make money a single dime for 2 years.
Really?
Not a single dime for 2 years. And then I think my first partnership was literally $35.
Stop.
Yeah. And I was like so happy. I told my husband, I was like, brunch is on me.
Damn.
Yeah. But I was so happy. And I just fortunate enough to be able to use my savings from finance to do that. I moved in with my husband and
oh my gosh. Well, thank you for sharing your backstory about how you like became a full-time creator. Yeah. I think another thing we all see on your social is like obviously your close relationship with your sister and your mom. Mm-hmm. Like your mom seems super sweet. Yeah. And the fact that, you know, you remember that conversation with your mom about the 6 months. Like what are some of the key lessons you learned from her, whether it's like beauty or skincare or just a general life lesson as a mother?
The biggest thing I learned from my mom is having grown up in Korea or in China, I will say the diet culture is very toxic back in Korea with everyone wanting to be skinny, you know, and like there is shaming among, you know, friends, family. You know, I've been called pigs by my uncle like growing up, like, and that was just normal. Yeah. I didn't even think that was offensive, right? Because there's just such shaming around not eating or just being the skinniest person. And my mom never really instilled that in us, where she was always like, you know what, there's no such thing as a diet. You know, everyone's trying different kinds of like, all these different kinds of diets in Korea. My mom was like, you just need to eat a balanced meal. And by doing that, you're going to be healthy. And my sister and I, we have like very sturdy calves, for example. And we'd always be like complaining as kids. My mom would be like, that signifies health. And health is wealth. She was instilling that kind of like inner beauty in us since the beginning. And she would make us eat bone broth every single morning for like the collagen since we were young, making sure we were getting protein, the veggies and all that. She was always just like feeding us like good food. Yeah.
So she kind of instilled this whole like, it starts from within, which I know your brand is all about. That's amazing.
Yeah. And then that completely broke when I came to the US. And because I think when I came to the US, I didn't have any guidance. You know, my mom like gave me food all the time, but I didn't really know much about like
nutrition, right?
Nutrition. Yeah. And I this is embarrassing, but like it's not even embarrassing because growing up in China or Korea, calories aren't labeled in any food back then. Oh. Calories were not a thing. Like now it is kind of labeled, but back in the day, no food had calories on them. So when I first came to college was when I first learned what a calorie was.
That makes sense though.
And because of that, that instilled like unhealthy eating habits in me and like my friends as well. Because we were just like, okay, well, you can only eat this many calories. So like I just didn't know how to eat when I came here. And I was just eating pizza and hot dogs and chips and pretzels and Coke all the time that my health just completely deteriorated. I didn't have my mom's guidance.
Yeah. How'd you find your way back to that?
I was at rock bottom. And that's honestly how I started my Glow with Ava channel. When I was at rock bottom, once again with my gut health and everything. I had to rebuild it back up and I learned a lot from that process.
I think it's interesting when you talk about like gut health because I think even for me, like I didn't notice, like I think now in my 30s, my gut, like I can't eat certain things anymore. Like
I'm bad again because I cured myself and then by starting my own brand and just being busy, I was going against the things that I preached. And I was going back to my old habits of just eating pizza every day.
I think because it's convenient. It's
convenient.
When you're
busy. So busy that I was just eating croissants and pizza every day. And then I just ruined my gut health again. So now I'm like back to
your routine.
Back to routine, just kind of like healing again.
It's hard though.
It's hard.
I think it's easy to like fall off routine, but getting back on is really difficult.
It's hard. And also in your 30s, it's even harder because you can't digest certain foods you just get nauseous from. Like it's very hard. Your body is just not as resilient as it was back in college.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. Like I could eat 2 hot dogs at 2 a.m. and like still lose weight. Nice.
Damn, it kind of makes me want a hot dog.
To all my wonderful parents and caregivers out there, let's talk about those unforgettable moments with your little ones. The first steps, the giggles, the boundless energy. But let's be real, with a growing and wild child, those moments can also mean unexpected messes, which is why I'm excited to share something that's been a lifesaver for us, Pampers Cruisers 360. Pampers Cruisers 360 is the must-have baby-proof diaper. These slide on like a pair of pants, unlike ordinary diapers with tabs or tapes that your escape artist can rip off. And trust me, thanks to its 360-degree stretchy waistband, it can help save you from some serious messes and keep your baby comfy. With up to 100% leak-proof protection, you can let your little one explore and play. And when it's time for a change, it's as easy as ripping the sides, rolling it up with a disposable tape on the back, and you're done. Simple as that. Try Pampers Cruisers 360 with the new Pampers Free and Gentle wipes for healthy baby skin. They're made from 100% plant-based cloth that grips the mess. With Free and Gentle, mess meets its match. Let your little one live wild and mess-free because every adventure should end in smiles, not cleanups. For trusted protection, trust Pampers, the #1 pediatrician recommended brand.
Okay, but I do need to talk about skincare with you.
Yes.
So, Korean beauty is well known for having like many steps. Like, was it 10, 12 steps? Like, I had to Google it once and I still got confused. How many steps does your skincare generally have, and how long does it take you to do your skin routine?
I will say my skincare routine was a lot more extensive a couple of years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe even close to 10 steps. But these days, I do not have the time.
Yeah.
I know a 10-step routine may be beneficial, but at the same time, I have pretty sensitive skin. So a lot of times, I don't really need that extensive routine. And I think just like something simple, effective skincare is something that works best. So in the morning is when I'm like, okay, like 3-4 steps, I'm out the door.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty much it. Nighttime, if I have a dinner and I come back home late, then I'm lucky if I wash my face sometimes. Like truly there are these days when I'm like, I'm so tired that wash my face and put on an oil or a cream and I'm good.
Yeah.
But on days where I have a little bit more downtime, if it's my Korean drama days, then I'll do, my double cleanse. I'll use a toner. I'll use a sheet mask, like 2 different kinds of serums, body lotion, cream, oil, gua sha, like
oh my God, it's everything,
all the shebang. But my morning routine is usually just a water cleanse. I don't use a cleanser in the morning. I just wash my face with water. And then I'll do a toner or a mist or a toner pad. And then I'll do a vitamin C serum, do a moisturizer, sunscreen. Done.
Now, that's funny. That's my next question. Like, what is your routine? So it's good to know that that's your morning routine.
That's my morning routine.
I heard about the water cleanse. I actually learned the water cleansing from Leah.
Yeah? Okay.
She told our other friend, and our other friend Justin Rod, he's in the Jerry Rod twins, he swears by anything Leah says. And then he told me, yeah, you just like use water cleanser. I was like, okay. And after that in the morning, I just stopped using like
cleansers
and just using water to wash my face. So I think it's good to know that you also do that too.
Yeah.
If you had to choose 3 products to use for the rest of your life, what would you use?
Oh my God, that's so hard.
I know.
Sunscreen.
Do you have a certain brand you like?
I have a lot, but it's usually always going to be a Korean sunscreen.
Okay.
Their formulations are just so divine. Something about them, and it's so affordable.
It is.
You just can't go back once you start using Korean sunscreens. Like the texture, the milkiness.
It's
just
great.
It's amazing.
But I feel like now, I think it's with sunscreen, like it's always changing. Like right now, like one trend, like this product's really good, this brand, and the next year's this brand. I'm like, oh, I don't know which one to follow anymore.
Yeah, you know what it is? I can give you like 10 Korean sunscreens, and you can't really go wrong with it because at the end of the day, in Korea, most of these good sunscreens are all made by the same factory.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's just like the texture and everything is going to be the same. It's just a matter of like what ingredient is in it. But really, there's not going to be that big of a noticeable difference.
Okay. So I don't have to be waiting in line like the other girls.
No,
just like choose one.
Beauty Drizzle is always a great one.
Okay,
They're very affordable. Skin 104 is great. Round Lab, Tokobo. I'm just amazed. It's so hard to find a sunscreen that you don't like.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know.
Those 4 would be my top 4
okay.
right now.
I'm happy. I use Beauty Just on right now.
Yeah, good. They
They're
just
great.
came up with a new one too.
Really?
For oily skin.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have to try.
That's what I'm wearing today.
Oh, wow. Looks good.
Yeah.
How about your other 2 products? You said sunscreen's one.
Sunscreen is one of them. Oh my God, this is so hard. I'll have to say gua sha.
Gua sha?
Yeah.
Okay.
Gua sha changed everything for me.
Does it really work?
It really does.
Okay.
But you have to be consistent. Like you can't use it for one day and be like, my face has changed.
Okay.
Well, it will give you like a temporary effect.
Yeah.
But for me, gua sha not only helped to change my face shape, you should see pictures of me from like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's beyond just the loss of baby fat. Like it truly transformed my face in general.
Okay.
But it's really great for people who have TMJ, for knuckles. It's great for allergies as well. If you have a lot of sinus infections, gua sha can help with that. It's great for headaches. And it's just good for overall lymphatic drainage. Like if you can use a gua sha for your face and your body, like doing lymph nodes really helps with the lymphatic drainage for detox at the same time. Acupressure points to increase the blood flow in your face. So it's not just about changing your face shape, but really bringing the circulation in your face to give you that rosy complexion, that brighter complexion that will amplify the effects of like a vitamin C serum, for example.
Oh, wow. I feel like with the gua sha, like I'm that person like, I'm going to do it. And I do it for like 3 days. I'm like, I give up.
Yeah.
Like, I guess for you, like how consistent do you have to be? Like every day?
No, you don't have to do it every day. I would say like 3 times a week.
Okay.
3 times a week. And you don't have to do it for 10 minutes, just try it for like even 2 minutes.
Okay.
Or 30 seconds, Like I'm so busy. I can barely do my nighttime skincare routine, but usually if I cleanse and put on a moisturizer, then I'll just use my gua sha for like even 30 seconds to a minute while I journal at night.
Okay.
And I'm literally doing this, journaling and just like doing something with my neck. And I have a lot of neck pain from all of us on our
the
computer
phone
and stuff. So if I don't do my face, I'm doing my neck.
Okay.
And I always travel with my gua sha on the plane.
So you like swear by your gua sha. Okay.
I brought you one.
Okay.
You'll have to use it.
Okay. I need to try because I feel like I've been like reading about like gua sha and like the lymph
nodes.
Yeah. I like need to learn more about that. But I'm tempted, but I'm just like, I can't commit sometimes.
Yeah.
But I think I just need to
pressure.
stick it out.
Just try it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How
One day at a time.
How about your third product? So sunscreen, gua sha, and like one thing you're like, I need to have.
I would say it's going to have to be some kind of active.
Oh.
So I'll have to do like a vitamin C, I would say. Vitamin C or a brightening component.
Okay.
Vitamin C or something with like resveratrol or a brightening component, whether that's from like a fruit extract or something. Because I do feel like my complexion has really improved and my hyperpigmentation has improved just from incorporating more vitamin C.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Noted. These are actually really helpful for me and our listeners out there. Okay, I want to talk about your brand. Your skincare brand, byAVA. Like, what inspired you to start your own line, and what do you hope to achieve with this brand?
Yeah, so this byAVA has been around for 1.5 years now, and once again, never was in my timeline of ever being an entrepreneur. Right? This being a content creator was already a stretch for me, so I never was going to be an entrepreneur. But everyone has for years told me, launch a skincare brand. And I was like, I didn't see the need to do it because there's already so many great products out there. And I told myself, I'm never going to launch a brand until there is something that is truly different. If I can really differentiate myself from the market, or if I can build something that's completely different, then I'll do it. So I did have so many ideas before byAVA, actually, which I won't get into, but byAVA was the one where I was like, you know what, I think it's kind of doable because there was truly no brand that was doing what I was doing. And even right now, like we don't really have a good comp brand out there for the products that we carry. So for me, during my gut health journey, when I was in finance, that was the exact same time period when I was healing my gut and I had all these like superfoods that my mom told me to put in. So the first part that we launched with was literally made in my mom's kitchen. These are all the products that she was, you need to put it in. So I had glass jars at my desk in finance, like 8 different kinds of jars of all these different powders. And every breakfast or lunchtime, I would have like a yogurt bowl or some bowl, and I would be putting all these powders one at a time. And oh my God, I was the only girl in the office. And they were always like, what is she doing? But that was how my first product, which is a skin and gut booster, was born. And in reality, I can tell you all the ingredients, that it's fully listed out, every single ingredient. But most people, you're not going to go and buy all these powders and like put one at a time. So we made it in a way that is very palatable, but you still get all the benefits in just one sachet. So that was how I was like, you know what? This is going to be what I'm going to build my brand off of. Like really nurturing your skin from within and your gut within, because I really believe in gut health equals skin health. So how do I come up with a product that is based on the idea of JELLOSKIN? It's about inner nourishment.
Yes.
Because skincare products can go only so far, but if you want that elastic skin, it's got to come from the inside.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I totally believe that. I love how, because I feel like I love how your brand feels very personal to you. Like it started with your mom, like like how you were raised with the food and stuff she like instilled in you guys.
And we don't have any, like even this year, we don't have any new launches because every launch has to be very intentional and has to be a product that I am using truly in my life,
and you swear by.
And I swear by it.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love when like creator or like you actually use your product and you actually love it. I think that's the only way to build that that relationship with it. You mentioned JELLOSKIN. What is JELLOSKIN?
Yeah, people are like, what is that? It's actually so simple when you think about it. It comes from Jello, you know, like the puddingy texture.
Yeah.
And I was actually getting a facial. This was a couple years ago by this celebrity facialist who does all the celebrities, Kim Kardashian, everyone. And he was massaging my skin. He was like, oh my God, I have never seen someone's cheeks with this much collagen.
Oh.
And he was like doing this. And it was like so like elastic that he kept calling it, it's like Jello. Your cheeks are like Jello, Jello, Jello. And he was like, what do you do for this? Because he knew you can't get this with skincare. And I was like, yeah, I actually eat a lot of collagen and just from inner beauty.
Yeah.
And that's how I coined the term JELLOSKIN. And I named all the things I do to get nourishment from the inside.
Yeah.
So JELLOSKIN was around for 2 years before my brand byAVA was even born. But my brand was born out of the concept of JELLOSKIN because I was like, everyone was asking me, what is JELLOSKIN? How can I get JELLOSKIN? And I needed something to really make it accessible and attainable. And the products that I have, from the traditional Chinese medicine elixirs to the superfood powders to the gua sha, it's making that lifestyle more accessible and attainable.
Yeah, I love that. Because I feel like we hear about glass skin, but JELLOSKIN feels a little bit more like long-term.
Yes, long-term. Glass skin is you see the immediate effect.
Yeah, but it doesn't always last.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of JELLOSKIN. One thing I feel like I hear a lot, like your origin story of your brand emphasizes like the importance of like internal nourishment. Like, why is it starting from the inside out so important to you?
It saved my life, honestly. And it's currently saving my life again, too, as I'm going through another round of a healing journey. And I don't think people realize, like, you can't just, like, stuff your insides with just McDonald's and put on a vitamin C serum and expect your skin to be, like, clear.
That's true.
Like, it just doesn't work that way. And you can't supplement your way out of, like, a disease either.
That's true.
It really has to start with, like, a good base routine.
Yeah.
It's like someone who eats McDonald's every single day and then is like, why do I have cancer? Or, like, goes to the doctor and, like, just putting a pill in me, just fix. There's no magic out there. It really has to be like every step of the way. So I'm not telling you my powders or like my one single product is going to change your life either. But it is a step forward or balancing out some of the other things that you do, because I'm not perfect. Okay. Like I love my fried chicken. I love my pizza. I will eat it. But at the same time, if I need a little bit of balance, especially during these like busy days that we have, that's what makes it more accessible.
Yeah, that makes sense. I also love, because I think when I'm hearing is like, I feel like when you talk about like Eastern medicine, like Western medicine, I feel like Eastern, like growing up, like I used to go to the Chinese medicine places with my grandma, and like they do the balancing thing, and then she boils it and you drink it. And I think like, you know, as I'm older, I'm talking to like people who study this, is just like, I think with Eastern medicine, these like kind of like what your product is, it's like, it's more preventative and helping you ensure this longevity of this type of skin, versus I think Western approach is like, let's just slap things on and like it's an overnight fix. Yeah. Versus I feel like within it's like it's more long term. Yeah. It's like a lifestyle.
That's what it is. It's like a preventative lifestyle that I'm offering. You're not just taking this only when you have acne. It's something that will prevent you from getting the acne or the hormonal acne and the cramps and everything.
Yeah. And in the long run too.
Yeah. It's like really like skin longevity.
Yes.
I call it.
I'm excited. Well, to wrap up today's episode, we have a fun segment for you. So this is kind of like a fire round.
Yeah.
You could take some time answering if you need to. So what's currently in your bag right now?
Right now?
Yeah. Just curious.
I can show you, but my bag is my wallet. I always have a couple of my products, my collagen, especially because I run into friends or followers a lot in the city. So every time I meet them,
that's so nice.
I always give them samples.
That's great.
Yeah. I'm so sad if I ever run out of samples. I'm like, oh my God, no.
That's so sweet of you.
Yeah. It's something that brings me so much happiness. And then usually have around like 4 to 5 to 7 lip products.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dang.
And I usually have some kind of cushion foundation in it, a hand mist, and in the summer, a sun stick.
Oh. So you prefer sunstick versus like the cream?
Only when I'm outside
Got it.
during the day, then I have a sun stick for my arms and everything.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. And my AirPods.
Nice. What is your latest obsession? And it could be anything.
I have a lot. I'm not going to do skincare because I'm always obsessed with something new.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I've been trying this new, I've had this for like 3 months already, but it's still an obsession because it's a dark chocolate balsamic vinegar. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
You bought it or you make it?
No, I bought it.
Okay.
And it's available on Whole Foods, Amazon, everywhere, but it's a brand called Costa Rica. They have amazing olive oil.
Yeah.
But they have this dark chocolate balsamic vinegar. They have other flavors too. But for me, like I love my sweets. I love dark chocolate. And I put it on everything. You can put it on your salads, but you can also put it on your ice cream.
Oh.
Or your sweets or your fruit, anything.
That's interesting.
Oh
Do you
my
put
God,
olive oil with that on your ice cream or no?
You can.
Okay.
It's actually, if you do both, it tastes amazing.
Yeah.
Because I love olive oil in anything.
Yeah.
But you can, it's just like this chocolate drizzle, but it's so healthy.
That sounds good because it elevates everything.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Whole Foods. Okay. We'll look into that up. We'll look into that. What is a favorite memory from creating either with your mom or sister or both?
Oh, we have such different memories because my sister's 9 years younger.
Yeah.
So
She's fun.
She's great.
Yeah.
She just left. But there's no one that can make me laugh than my sister.
Yeah.
Like every time she's here, I'm like, this is an intense ab workout every single moment because we laugh so much. With my mom, I would say she used to be a fashion designer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she had
That's
to
so
quit,
cool.
unfortunately, when we moved to China.
Yeah.
So she sacrificed her entire life to raise me.
Yeah.
So I have so much to give back to her. So I feel like that's why this byAVA brand is like giving her work in a way because the gua sha, for example, her and I designed it together.
Oh, that's so sweet.
My logo and my color scheme, like she helped with every single part of the process as well.
Yeah.
But we weren't able to like afford like Christmas ornaments, for example. So we would make them
Oh, wow.
with her leftover
fabric?
fabric
Oh, that's
and
so
buttons.
sweet.
Yeah.
Dang. That is really nice.
Yeah.
Oh, wow, your mom's really creative.
Oh, she's so creative.
That's amazing. And for you, what's next? Like any upcoming projects you're open to sharing with our listeners?
Yeah, this is the first time anyone's hearing about it, but we are working on a brand refresh.
Ooh.
We're changing our logo. We're changing all of our packaging. So we've been working on this for like 2 months now.
Oh, wow. That's going to be really
coming
exciting.
out hopefully before the end of the year.
Okay. So it'd be good. Perfect time for like holiday season.
Yeah, no new product launches this year, but we are changing up
Oh, yeah.
everything else.
It's like sometimes you need a refresh after a
Yeah,
while.
I felt like we needed one.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to see how the new refresh looks. But thank you so much, Ava, for joining us on today's episode for ABG. If people want to follow along and like see, the updates on the refresh, where can they follow you?
Yeah, so my Instagram and TikTok and YouTube is all at Glow with Ava. And my brand is at byAVA.
Awesome.
Very simple.
Well, check Ava out. I know I will be. And with that, we'll catch you on the next episode. Bye. All right, before we wrap up today's episode, we want to give a quick shout out to one of our ABG besties, Tracy Young from San Francisco, my Bay Area girl. Thank you so much for the support, and I definitely see you on those Dear ABGs monthly. And we want to just say we love you so much and appreciate you supporting the podcast. Thank you so much, Tracy.